this is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, the power would be too much. And that means that we are now able to turn on the power and to find out the resonance frequency. And you see, if you have found the resonant frequency, the lamp is shining. This is what Tesla did, and we know this. It is shining even in the field. You see, that you have this ability that you don't need any connection to the coil, and it is shining. It's even shining at the receiver side. Let's have a look. Yes, here we see that even the receiver is producing the same scalar waves, and that you can have it here. It is easily influenceable, maybe influenced easily. This is normal. Okay.
I would love that with my vacuum cleaner, because I always stumble over the cable.
Yeah, so there are a lot of practical applications which where this system could be in use very easy and very effective. That you don't have these cables. A lot of applications, and this now has about 5 or 10 watt. The amplifier at maximum has wait a minute, about 20 watt it is, I think. 20 watt. So this is enough to drive a boat, a small boat in a pool, as shown in internet, and as we have shown on some conferences as well, or to
here in
use
the last interview with you,
these the lamp, or to have a small airplane model of an airplane to let it move. So these things are interesting just to play with, or even for industry.
Yes.
There are some who say, well, but this system is not at all wireless, because there is still this connection here, you see. Well, if you switch out this line and use the LED again, then you find out that the lamps are shining wirelessly, because there's no connection, you see. So this is possible and may be used in a positive way, but it's no Tesla. Because the Tesla system was not totally wirelessly. He was always using the connection to the ground.
The earth was the wire.
Well, that this is possible is showing that wireless transmission of energy is possible.
Yes.
And I have it here in my hand, and it is always shining. Well, do your research if you want by yourself, but this is important, that because we have a lot of explanations in internet which are saying this is not really wirelessly, and this is why it is wrong, or whatever. I don't know what the ideas are. I always said that this system primarily was to reproduce what Tesla did and what Tesla said. I wanted to find out, was it correct, or have there been some mistakes in the descriptions of Tesla? And I can say Tesla was absolutely correct. This is important, and by this, with this experimental kit, everybody is able to find out that this is true. Yeah.
And nobody was able to come up with proof that you are cheating, or that is a bluff or a hoax, or...
Only those who never have bought the system. Those who have had it.
Yeah.
Nobody, no one who has proved it correctly. Well, there is one private institute, I think they were paid for it, that they have found out that this should be a harmonic, the two frequencies, and one would be the harmonic of the other. But what we know is that a harmonic always is in a fixed relation to the basic wave. And this is very easy to be proved that this result they have found out was totally wrong. But they have published it. I don't know why. I have sent them an email. Please put all these out of the internet. It's wrong information, and try to prove your gravitational idea, because they call themselves an institute for gravitational research, and they have not found anything out for what they have as their title. So they only are trying to find some ideas in fields they are not interested in, and they have no expertise and experts in the group. And you see, but this is in internet, and this is not very good for me, and it's not helpful. Well, I can stand it anyway, but you have to pay attention what you read in internet, especially from those who have not used this experimental kit. Well, it's only to demonstrate, this system is only to demonstrate that scalar waves exist, always in a combination to the electromagnetic wave, but with different properties. This is why we have done it. And in this documentation there are some interesting effects. For instance, if you ask what is the influence of this coil. You see, this flat pancake coil, it's called. This flat coil has very special properties. And if you want to prove this, you only have to change the connection in the center and on the earthing connection, which is outside of the coil, this inner part and outer part. If you change both, then all the scalar wave properties disappear. And so that you can say these coil, how it is produced, has an influence and to what the properties at the ends are, so that the scalar wave and the special properties of scalar waves, they totally disappear. And if you have a standard coil, if you change both connections, there's no difference. So this was in interest to Nikola Tesla himself, and he said that this coil has these very special properties, so he was writing a patent about this coil. And this coil and bifilar coil and so on. So these ideas are proved and provable, and you can all reproduce with this experimental kit.
And perhaps one short notice: you show one of two kinds of scalar waves. You show here the electric scalar wave. Because, not to get confused, there is also a magnetic one, which you detected and which is biologically very active.
So the magnetic scalar wave is not described in any textbook, so this is totally new, but I have found out that the magnetic one is usable or is used in biological systems. That means all these ring systems we have in the organic chemistry, like the benzene ring or the pyrimidine ring, which are in the DNA. These ring systems are acting as antennas for magnetic scalar wave. But this is a bit different problem, and I discuss it, if you want, in another session, especially for these magnetic scalar waves. But this was a reproduction of Tesla, and he was the developer of the electric one. And this is why till this time we have in internet only two descriptions about the electromagnetic wave and about the electric scalar wave, Hertz and Tesla. And I have found out the third one and have developed it, derived it and described it, and now I show that this is usable as well if you for biological effect, the magnetic scalar wave. But you can use this system as well in in addition, in combination with a magnetic scalar wave, because at the top of the ball of the antenna we have a maximum of the electric field strength, and you are able to measure all along the coil and all along the line. You find out where the minimum of the electric field strength is, but the magnetic field strength is just the opposite. So it is on top 0 and has a maximum at that point where I have put the excitation or the primary coil on the button.
And that's why medicines have put medical products on that, and then
they always have to put the products on this point where this coil is on the other side, because here is the maximum of the magnetic field point. So this is what we have measured, you see, and we have found out that there is the maximum of the magnetic field, and the magnetic field is the one who is accelerating the electrons in such a ring antenna, like benzene ring. Then they are moving, and then they are accelerated, and then they transport the biological information to the coil, to the magnetic fields, and the magnetic fields are involved with the electric fields, so that we get a wave, an electric wave, which is carrying the magnetic wave and the information of the magnetic wave. And we are able to transmit over long distance these biological information.
And perhaps one short word, you always say a wave which is electromagnetic, the usual one from Hertz, has always a part with scalar waves and vice versa. They are always combined in some way. That's also important to know, because I thought as a layman there's only this one and this one and this one, but in nature
it's always mixed up. It's always mixed